What's up everybody, welcome to HDpiano. My name is Kale, and in today's lesson we're going over My Old Man by Zac Brown Band. In this part 1 video, I'll be teaching you how to play the intro to the song. Here's how that sounds. So there you have it, a really nice country guitar fingerpicking line that we're going to adapt for piano here. But before we get started with this intro, I've got a question for everybody tuning in out there. Now, sticking with the family vibes of this song, is there anybody in your family that's a musician or plays a musical instrument? Or it could be somebody that's really close to you that's like family. Comment below, we'd love to see what you guys have to say. Now let's go over this intro really quickly. So we've got a pretty complicated right hand part. So we're going to cover just the left hand first, and we're going to start with an E major chord. And here's middle C for reference. So we have an E with our pinky, a G sharp with our middle finger, and a B with our thumb. And we're going to hold that out for 1 bar. So nice E major chord for 1, 2, 3, 4. Then after that, we're going to move down to an A sharp half diminished chord, which is more complicated than it sounds. It's really just an A sharp with our pinky, an E with our pointer, and a G sharp with our thumb. And that's also going to be held out for 1 bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For our next chord, we're going to play sort of an A major 7, which is pretty easy. We're just going to move our pinky down to A and keep our pointer finger and our thumb rooted where they are. So we have an A, an E, and a G sharp. And that's also going to hold for 1 bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're just going to do this thing where we have a B on beat 1 of the next bar. And we're going to add a little 16th note rhythm here, which will sound like this. Just like that. And that's going to match up with this little right hand part. So let's talk about this rhythm that we're using here, because we're going to depart from the idea of holding down chords for an entire bar in this little section. So a quarter note is our basic unit of rhythmic measurement, and for each beat, a quarter note gets played once. So if you played quarter notes with this B chord, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now eighth notes take that one step further by adding another hit per beat. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, eighth notes would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'd count eighth notes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We're adding that and to signify the extra hit per beat. Now 16th notes, which we'll be using in this song, are a little more complicated. You get 4 hits to a beat with 16th notes. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 16th notes would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So to count 16th notes, we'd count them as 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So we add all those extra syllables, the E and a, to signify the 4 hits per beat. So now let's apply this to our little left hand part. So we're starting on beat 1 with a B with our pinky, right? And we're going to hold that out for 1 E and a 2 E and a. So on the E of beat 2, we're going to move up to a C sharp with our ring finger. 1 E and a 2 E and a. 1 E and a 2 E and a. Just like that. And then finally on beat 3, we're going to play a D sharp with our middle finger. So that last bar sounds like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So let's try recapping the entire left hand part first, and then we'll add the right hand part to it, starting with our E major chord. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, 4. Okay, so there's your left hand part. Now let's look at the right hand part, which is going to play this little melody that Zac Brown is playing on his guitar. So we're going to do a bunch more 16th note rhythms here. So good job on learning those for the left hand, because we're going to translate a lot of those same ideas to the right hand. We're going to start with a quick 1 E. And we're going to play a B with our pinky and a G sharp with our middle finger. So 1 E and a. 1 E and a. And then we're going to do the same thing on 2 E. We're going to go F sharp with our pointer to E with our thumb. So 1 E and a 2 E and a. 1 E and a 2 E and a. Just like that. And then after that, we're going to follow it up with this. So we have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. So on the of beat 2, we're going to add this F sharp with our pointer finger again for 1 E and a 2 E and a. And then on the E of beat 3, we're going to play a G sharp with our middle finger again. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. And that's our main melodic idea, so that'll fit over our E major chord. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now we're going to do the same thing again over our A sharp diminished chord. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then once we get to our A major 7 chord, things change up a little bit. We're going to play our basic motif of 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. But once we get to the of beat 3, we're going to jump down to a C sharp with our thumb. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. And then finally on the E of beat 4, we're going to play an E with our pointer finger. So 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now if that sounds a little complicated, don't worry. I'll play the entire line for you really quickly so it makes sense. So we have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. So over the A major 7 chord, it would sound like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Just like that. And then finally, to close out this intro part, we have the 16th note rhythm in our left hand, right? So to join up with that in our right hand, we're going to play a B and a D sharp with our thumb and middle finger for beat 1. And then remember, we're playing the C sharp on the E of beat 2. So to add to that, we're going to play a C sharp with our pointer finger and an E with our ring finger on the E of beat 2. So 1 E and a 2 E and a, just like that. 1 E and a 2 E and a. And finally on beat 3, we go to the D sharp in our left hand, and in our right hand, we're just going to play a stock B major chord. So a B with the thumb, a D sharp with the middle finger, and an F sharp with your ring or pinky finger. Now let's recap the left hand and the right hand together for this intro part for My Old Man, really slowly. Ready? 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. For the next section, we're going to move on to the verse, so be sure to head over to HDpiano.com for that. Please consider subscribing on YouTube and following us on Twitter at HDpiano. You can tweet your song requests to us using the hashtag HDrequests. Please consider liking us on Facebook, where we're also posting a bunch of great piano content. And we'll see you guys over at hdpiano.com, home of the hybrid piano lesson for part 2.